I am going to attempt to explain clearly exactly what it is I'm expecting from your homework. First, the revision mat. I have designed these to give you an overview of the topic with gaps to fill in. You should attempt this without looking at any resources first, see what you can recall. But then, when you get stuck on a gap, use the answers that have been provided for you in the homework resources pack at the back and on your Google Classroom to help you fill in the gaps of the bits that you couldn't remember. That way, you're revising the whole topic before you start the main homework booklet. The mat and the improvements to that mat should take in total around an hour of homework time. And then you feed back to me on how confident you were using the Google form. If you like to upload photographs to show me the evidence of every page, then that's lovely, but there is no expectation that you have to do that. And then the next thing is the homework booklet. So here we are, step by step. There are 3 things that you have: the booklet that you write in, preparing for revision, the resources to support that, and the mark scheme for the last 2 steps. You'll need 3 different coloured pens to complete everything. Step 1 is all about how you're feeling about the topic before you start the revision booklet. Ideally, you'll do this on Google Classroom using the checklist that I've set as an assignment. However, if you can't do it that way, you'll need to do it on paper using the checklist that's provided for you in your booklet, and then you'll need to take a photograph of that and email it to me. In step 2, we use Quizlet. So by joining your Quizlet class and making sure you're signed in, you can practice your key words, and I will immediately see the evidence of that effort. If you're not able to use Quizlet, you're going to have to do this by hand and then take a photograph for me and email it to me to show me your work. You have all of the answers to the keywords in your resources pack to help you check your work. Step 3 uses Quizlet as well. This time the focus is core knowledge. So the core knowledge questions on Quizlet are easy to do and show me evidence of effort. If you have to write them all out, that is quite a lot of work. So if you would rather have someone at home quiz you, the quizmaster does then need to fill in the slip in your booklet at the front and sign it for me so that you can take a photograph of it and send it to me as evidence. Step 4 is the last time we use Quizlet, and it's only for topics that have equations. So like the core questions and the keywords, there's a Quizlet set to practice for the equations, and if you can't use Quizlet, it needs to be done by hand, a photograph taken and emailed to me, because I won't see your effort without that. Steps 1 to 4 should take about half an hour of homework time. Step 5 is when we get into the exam application. With your first coloured pen, you try every question the best you can without peeking at any resources at all. Step 6 is about improving those questions. You can use any resources you want at all except for the mark scheme, and you should do this using the second coloured pen. In step 7, you see how you've done and you think about exam technique. So using the mark scheme, you mark your answers. If they're perfect, fabulous. If they're not, then it's time to learn something from that. So look at the mark scheme, make some improvements, and show these in the coloured pen that you've used for marking your work. I've put lots of resources in to try and help you with this. So there are videos to give you some support and some model answers along the way to help you make your answers perfect. Then I ask you to look over those exam questions you've tried and pick out your main strength in that topic and the thing that would make the biggest difference if you were to work on it. There are codes for you to use, so you can just select a letter for each. The last step in the booklet is to look back now at how your confidence is at the end of all that revision. Ideally, you'll do that using the Google form. If you can't, on paper, a photograph, and show me. Steps 7 and 8 should only take about 30 minutes of homework time, and then all you've got to do to be completely finished to do is a short Google form to feed back the specifics for me across that homework task. If you can't do the Google form, then you do need to take photographs of all of the exam questions and your summary of which codes were your strengths and weaknesses so that I can see that information. And that is 3 hours worth of homework which you will get with every topic that we study in physics. And that homework will be spread across the weeks to fit your homework time. I hope that helped and was clear and made things easier. If you need to understand why I set homework the way I do, then there is a video about that. It was made quite a long time ago, but is absolutely still relevant. There is a QR code to that video in the front of the instructions in your homework booklet if you want to watch it.